But I want to take a quick look at some Second Amendment news here. Coming out of Washington State, Marysville, the plan was to steal tools, but then the customers drew their guns. So you had a couple of guys, 22 and 23-year-old guys. They go into a small farming store, Coastal Farm and Ranch Store in Marysville, this last Saturday afternoon. They stole 4 nail guns, each worth over $400. That's $1,600 worth of stuff. And they walked out of the store and got into their Honda Civic. And then, click, click, they're surrounded by 6 customers pointing guns at them. One customer was standing in front of the car yelling at the alleged thieves to get out. One of the suspects said, "He won't shoot, run him over." And the guy did. He wound up on the hood of the car, and he didn't get hurt, evidently. Another customer then shot at the driver's side front tire. A third fired twice at the rear tire. Someone shot at the car one more time as it left the parking lot. They didn't get too far. An employee saw the car leaving, drove after the thief suspects. He saw one of the men lean out of the passenger window, hold up what looked like a gun. Maybe it was just a nail gun because they didn't find any guns. But anyway, maybe it's one of the nail guns they stole. No, it's probably still in the box. The employee stopped chasing the men after what he thought was a gun being held out and went back to the store because he didn't have a weapon. There were 6 customers who did, though, and they took this guy on. The Marysville police found the thief suspect's car unoccupied about 3 blocks away. It had 2 flat tires and the stolen tools inside. Both men were apprehended after a search. They denied having a gun or seeing the employee follow them. Police found no firearms in the car. Now, when we look at what these people did, a couple of instructions here, folks. When we talk about the Wild West, there was an excellent book done in terms of research, and something about gunfighters and cattle rustlers or something in the Wild West. I can't remember the exact title. But what they found was that, yes, there were occasional shootouts that would happen, like the OK Corral or something, or you'd have a couple of gunfighters shooting each other in the street. But typically, there was very, very few exchanges of firearms because everybody was armed. Other than somebody like Billy the Kid, who's just itching for a fight, nobody typically pulled their guns on people. You had very, very low crime. You had very, very low, there we go. That's probably Kurt Russell. He named his son Wyatt. He likes Wyatt Earp. Anyway, but there was very, very low crime. You didn't have mass shootings at all because everybody was armed. And you had this type of thing. And if there was a big crime, the sheriff, who didn't have a lot of professional people writing tickets and harassing the populace with armed government workers, he would get the posse, the power of the community, posse comitatus, and they would go get the person with a hue and a cry. But nevertheless, when we look at this, as restrained as these guys were, far better trained than the police would be, the police chief there said, well, we're going to have to talk to these people. We're going to bring them in.